Good evening, Tallahassee. Welcome to our last Thursday show of FSU Weather, as tomorrow will be our season finale and the senior show. Let's get right into it. Right now we've got a live look over Doak Campbell Stadium, and if you're outside right now, you probably don't want to be because it is raining, storming, and thundering very intensely. We even have a tornado warning outside Gadsden County, so if you're outside right now, make sure to head indoors and stay safe. But it's currently 71 degrees, so things have cooled down, and we've got winds from the south at 14 miles per hour. There are risks for higher winds and hail today, so make sure you are aware of that. Across the region, again, cooler temperatures, low 70s, upper 60s, so that's very nice to experience right now. And again, that's that big storm that we're seeing and that tornado warning in Gadsden County. We can see that rotation is really strengthening the system right now. And as for today's show, we're going to talk about storms this weekend, remembering the April 2011 tornado super outbreak and the new Thursday team leader. All that and more on FSU Weather.
Yeah, guys, welcome back. Priscilla did mention a new Thursday team leader.
Yes.
Is it going to be the last Thursday show of the semester?
It is the last Thursday show of the semester, and I'm quite sad about that. Are you sad?
I'm absolutely, so scared. So we're taking a look at the graphics a little bit, but
yes.
Currently we have a good amount of weather
Yes.
going on. You saw Priscilla show
Yes.
that storm coming through.
Yes.
It's a little spooky. I will say north of Tallahassee
Yes.
into Gadsden County, as Priscilla mentioned, you are currently under a tornado warning.
That is correct. That is
correct, and
Yeah.
what you're seeing on the screen is not correct.
Yes, so sorry for the technical difficulties, but the tornado warning is taking place. I believe it's a radar indicated tornado that is occurring
nice.
here in Tallahassee. So be on the lookout for that.
Yeah, what is going on there? Something like the freak that runs the Thursday shows. I don't know why he put that in there, but that was me getting very angry out of frustration. Oh, that's a little silly too, and a little bit rude. How dare you, Evan?
I mean, yeah, no.
I know that next year's team leader for Thursdays would never, ever do this.
No, yeah, that's me flopping. But you know what isn't flopping? This Thursday show.
Oh, no.
No.
But you know what was the best? The Tuesday show.
Yes.
Must we say that?
Dynamic duo right here. And we're going to pass it off to the wall with Aaron for another look at our local.
Thanks, Aaron. I actually have to disagree with you on that. I think the Friday show is actually the better show, but so to speak, though. So across Doak Campbell Stadium, here we have those cloudy skies there with those storms coming through the area. Really dreary outside, 72 degrees under those thunderstorms here. Those thunderstorms across the area producing that rain, those lightning conditions you might have saw outside if you perhaps were walking just a while ago. We also have a few of those tornado warnings across some of the areas around Tallahassee as well. So our temperature almanac for today, we had that hit the high of 77 degrees, which is actually lower than normal. And the reason why is because we had that cloud cover that was actually blocking the sun from actually heating up the land as much as it could have. However, that low was also well above, and that's also due to the clouds as well, preventing any type of that radiation from escaping into the atmosphere. So, however, we're not anywhere near our records of 95 and 39 here. So the current temperatures across much of the Big Bend, we have that rain-cooled 67 and 66 in Quincy there, 66 as well in Thomasville, 75 in Perry. A little bit warmer as you get down to the south and east or so. That's because we have a little bit less cloud cover, and also more, or that rain also has yet to move through that area as well. So today we are under that slight risk, which is the reason why we've seen a few of these stronger to severe storms across the area. So that slight risk does extend for much of the Big Bend and into the Panhandle here, and that also extends up to about southwestern Georgia. The threat is going to be for damaging winds, spotty hail, and a couple tornadoes also possible, as we've seen today across the area. And that severe thunderstorm watch does expand across the I-10 corridor, down south through about I-95 or so, where we have those slight risks there. So again, need to watch out and keep weather aware outside today if you're across north and eastern Florida. Saved on current radar, here we have that area, that front that's moving through the area here that's causing that rain here across the Big Bend, over towards Panama City, down south through the Gulf of Mexico. Also expands north too into Georgia and wrapping around the Carolinas there. And also a few of those embedded supercell thunderstorms potentially at least out ahead of the main line there near Jacksonville, down south through Melbourne and I-95. So zooming in a little bit closer here, we have that large severe thunderstorm warning across the entire Big Bend. The reason why is because we have this area that's actually bringing some heavy winds here. You see that little spin there? No, that is not a hurricane, folks. That is what we call a mesoscale convective system, or an MCS. It's moving through around the I-10 corridor, gets to move through northern Leon County, and could potentially cause some damage, wind damage especially. So over the next several days or so, we should expect that some of that clearing as we get into the day on Friday tomorrow. So tomorrow afternoon should look mostly dry. Those clouds should stay off to our south and east, and only a slight chance of perhaps a sprinkle or two. And through Saturday into your Sunday, we might see at least another chance of some showers and storms moving in from the Gulf of Mexico. The timestamp is Saturday at 8 p.m. However, that should hopefully clear by the time you wake up in the morning on Sunday. So on day 2, so this is tomorrow, we actually do have a marginal risk of severe weather, again, with the main threat being gusty winds, instant small hail are possible as well. And then same story as well as we get into your Saturday, as we potentially could see those gusty winds as possible as well. So rainfall forecast, we should expect about a half an inch or so of rain across the Big Bend as we make our way throughout the weekend or so. As for your week ahead, we have a stormy Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They're out ahead of a beautiful finals week, so make sure you do prepare for those finals next week. Right, Jason?
Yeah, I mean, I would say I'm fairly prepared, but that's what we have a week for in this weekend. It's a perfectly great day, perfectly great weekend to study, but let's actually look at Florida. I mean, let's zoom out a little bit. We already covered Tallahassee, that rain they've been getting, but that's actually not just the broad. Let's basically get more broad with this, because it's actually seeing a lot more widespread throughout our state of Florida. Seeing in Jacksonville, maybe even some in Destin, but Orlando also seeing some rain. You can see that really like dark cloud right there. Current conditions showing us Tallahassee is actually probably one of the coldest places in Florida, which is kind of weird, but that's because we're seeing that rain here. But maybe Orlando is 85. That's crazy. And Orlando is actually hotter than Key West right now, which is perfectly sunny. That's really weird to think about, probably because of that sea breeze and those winds and everything like that. But yeah, let's look at the SPC storm outlook right now. This is what's really important. We have a slight risk right now for Tallahassee and also for Orlando, and that's what we're seeing those effects right now. Tallahassee, you guys are probably feeling it right now. It's pretty bad, and there's actually some severe thunderstorm watches all the way up most of Florida. You can see just basically covering the eastern Florida, then also part of the Panhandle. Looking at South Florida right now, though, we can see some just pop-up showers, maybe in the middle of the coast, probably right by the Everglades or near Lake Okeechobee, and maybe some showers right up here near the east coast of Florida, and just pop up. It looks like summertime, basically. You can see those showers move all the way off from the west coast to the east coast, and that's what's really bringing them that rain and some very bad storms and stuff, because you can see, because SBC even had a slight risk for them just because of these storms, especially right south of Daytona Beach. This is what Aaron was talking about. You can see that circulation. Look how cool that thing is. It's right here. You can just see it circulate as this line moves through our area. That's really cool to see. It's like literally straight out of a meteorology textbook. That's how cool it looks. But I mean, it's obviously bad for the people in it, but as meteorologists, we like looking at this stuff. But we don't really like the people experiencing it, but we just like looking at from afar. We don't really want anyone to really have any bad effects from it. But luckily, after today, we won't really be seeing that. Mostly the state of Florida will be seeing lots of widespread. That front, or that band that Tallahassee got today, Tampa and Central Florida isn't getting that tomorrow. So that's what's going to be happening tomorrow. And Saturday, we're going to be seeing another band. Look how fast that thing went through. It literally zoomed right past, and probably in the middle of Saturday, you're going to be seeing those widespread for most of Tallahassee. And then on Sunday, that band will so make it straight through Central Florida again. So basically, it's a double whammy for most of the state. That's what's really weird about this pattern right now. Tallahassee is going to be getting up to 0.82 inches. That's a lot. We really needed that. Tampa, though, Tampa's having a severe drought. They really needed this rain. So even West Palm Beach, they really don't need this rain. But you get what you can get, basically. And for the rest of this state, let's look at the weekend. The weekend is going to be a very wet weekend for Miami, 70 on Sunday. And then Tampa, we're going to be seeing lots of widespread rain on Sunday, and it's basically going to be the same for the rest of Florida. You can see 80 and 90s throughout all of Florida, even up when we go to Jacksonville. And then when we do Pensacola, it's actually seeing most of the rain right now, and then also Saturday. That's where they're really going to be seeing this. So let's actually zoom out to the southeast. How's it looking out southeast?
Well, we're actually going to be keeping the same conditions that we've been seeing throughout the southeast. So as you look right now, the clouds are it's mostly cloudy across the southeast, but keep in mind this area that the weather that we've been seeing throughout Florida will be continuing onwards. Currently, we're at 72 in Tallahassee with some thunderstorms, as well as thunderstorms happening in Orlando, but mostly everywhere else it's just staying nice and clear. Now, not just in Tallahassee and Orlando going up to Jacksonville, but we are seeing that slight risk, but as we go back, we also see some risk that could be happening out in Memphis as well. So that is something, if you are in those areas, you need to keep an eye on for damaging winds, by hail, and a couple possible tornadoes. So make sure you have those alerts activated. Now, we are all under a severe thunderstorm watch from the Treasure Coast going up to Jacksonville into here in Big Bend. And right now in Tallahassee, we're under a severe thunderstorm watch until 7 o'clock p.m. tonight. So it should be expiring, but it could continue on as you see those rain come through later tonight. So as you see, this current band is going straight through Tallahassee, and it's going to be coming out well ahead of that cold front back over here. But we still need to keep an eye on this because it will still be affecting those throughout the rest of our area. As we go into our upper level water vapor, we're just seeing it's just showing that there's a lot of moisture in the air south of Tallahassee and south of the Big Bend. So this is going to be fueling and just giving more moisture for that rain to form and precipitate and drop onto us. As you can see in the future, this rain is going to be coming through. It's actually going to be coming through Tallahassee, and it's going to be starting to make its way up, going northeast as it circles around the low. But we'll also see some rain going through Tampa and going into Orlando and the rest of Central Florida. That's something you need to keep in mind. Oh, yeah. So this rain's just going to continue going through, and on Sunday you'll see that rain, especially heading to Orlando. And rainfall, while we'll be seeing a good amounts in Florida, we'll be seeing extreme amounts, at least an inch and a half in Atlanta, as well as maybe even some good rain in New Orleans. And in New Orleans, since it's below sea level, that's something you've got to keep an eye on. And for tonight, we'll be expecting some rain in Tallahassee, as well as in Charlotte and Atlanta, but in the Carolinas as well, so you got to make sure you keep those alerts ready. But for the most part, we'll be seeing some temperatures, so it's a good night to definitely stay inside. And finally, for tomorrow's weather, tomorrow, that rain is just going to be a key part of that story. So make sure you have have those umbrellas, have those rain jackets, and just stay inside if possible, and just stay for your finals. But now let's bring it on out to, let's just bring it on out to Aaron.
Thanks, Josh. That's right. So as you are preparing for those finals, do make sure you're weather aware, as we have potential for a slight risk of severe weather tonight, and then also that marginal risk tomorrow. So I have to watch out that. So we come out to Texas here, the great state of Texas, around these parts. So 77 in Austin, Texas, 67 Dallas, College Station, which is just north of Houston, at 77 degrees, and then Denton, Texas, at a nice and balmy 65 degrees with kind of warmer temperatures for this time of year or so. Tomorrow, there is a chance for some severe weather, as they have that enhanced risk. Not sure if you heard that thunder behind me. That enhanced risk from Dallas down to Waco there. So do watch out and make sure you stay weather aware, as there could be some damaging winds, large hail, and an isolated tornado possible as well across these areas. And by the way, don't just quite look at the enhanced risk. Also look at the slight and the marginal risk, because again, like today here, we're under that slight risk, but we've had a few tornado warnings across the area. So don't just look at this bullseye, look at the entire, well, basically the entire state or eastern part of Texas, really, for severe weather. So for damaging winds tomorrow, we also have that 15% chance of damaging winds. So this could be straight line winds. So not just tornadoes could cause wind damage. It could be along a line of showers and storms that could perhaps bring some of those damaging winds that could even excess of 60 miles an hour possible. So watch out. And if I want to quote the great Robert Zott from the great state of Texas here, if you stick your hand out the window, go freeway speed, that's about what we can expect here for these winds tomorrow. And the hail report, or the hail probability here, we have that hatched area from about the Mexico border all the way to the Oklahoma border here, so where we could potentially see some significant hail, especially within this bullseye around Dallas and Waco. So do watch out, keep weather aware, as it could have a 30% chance of seeing that hail. So right now, we're staying a little bit dry at the upper levels here with that brown shading here, as you see from Houston, that ribbon kind of extending back to San Angelo and over the Rio Grande there. We also have that water vapor loop also showing that little bit patchier area of where perhaps we could see some of that increase in moisture coming into or at least western Texas right now, and that's what might perhaps produce some of those showers tomorrow. And that's out ahead of this really large area of circulation here, so don't get dizzy, folks. Right here around Billings, Montana, Wyoming, over towards about South Dakota is where we have that large air envelope pressure there. That's what's going to sink down to the south and potentially cause some of that ruckus tomorrow across Texas. So future radar, we have that cape, that energy, perhaps the atmosphere to actually cause these storms to pop up throughout the day here. So Dallas, Waco, according to this model, could see perhaps a few of those rumbles of thunder there around the 4 p.m. Central Daylight Time hour. And then that will probably continue on through about 7 o'clock or so into the evening hours. So again, you want to make sure you're weather aware as these storms potentially could become very dangerous. So some severe weather prep things you want to know. Make sure you have a battery-powered radio. Flashlights are also very encouraged in case there's a power outage. Helmets as well. Make sure you have sturdy shoes, first aid kit, and have that copy of an emergency communications plan. But we're going to turn things over to the desk with, yes.
Thank you, Aaron. Yes, so right now Nico and I, Priscilla, we're going to take a look at some severe weather. We're going to be talking a little bit about the 2011 super outbreak of tornadoes. But right before we do that, we're actually going to take a look at the tornado warning that we're experiencing right now in Gadsden and Leon. Oh, wow, now we're in Leon County. Tornado warning. So
Northern Leon.
Northern Leon County, yeah. So it was actually spotted and radar indicated. So things are looking pretty intense there. What do you think about that, Nico?
Yeah, it looks like this was actually just observed. So if you want to travel north of I-10 this evening, you might not want to do that right now. Hold off on that until after this warning expires at 7 o'clock.
Especially there could be debris on the roads, lots of rain on the road as well. So make sure you're staying inside and get to your safe place if you have one, because these tornadoes, they are no joke.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And this one looks like it's going to be wrapped in rain. I've been watching this circulation for quite a while. It's been all the way out since about Quincy. It's been wrapped in rain this entire time. You won't see it until you get very, very close to it.
Mm-hmm. But for the 2011 super outbreak, this occurred over April 25th through the 28th, and there were 360 tornadoes across much of the eastern United States, including 4 EF5s, which is the highest level of tornado.
Yeah, and there were also, on April 27th, which was the most active day, there were 216 tornadoes. Unfortunately, 348 people were killed by this tornado outbreak, which was one of the deadliest tornado outbreaks of all time.
Yes, and the most documented one was in Tuscaloosa. And also wanted to mention about the deaths, about 320 of them were from tornadoes themselves and only 20 from other storm-related incidents. But now we're going to send it back over to Genevieve for a look at Tallahassee versus El Paso. What do you have to say about that?
Well, I do have quite a bit to say, Priscilla, because El Paso, you're thinking, why are we talking about that incredible city? Well, there is some bias here. It is Thursday night, and it is the last Thursday show of the semester of the year, in which last Thursday show that Evan O'Regan, our dearest producer, will ever produce. So El Paso is where he's heading to after graduation. So let's check out the climatology between Tallahassee and El Paso. Tallahassee, we're seeing those 90s into the summer, and then those potentially 30s sometimes into the winter, those cold, cold January, February nights. We average about 59 inches of rain per year and absolutely zero snow. So the best description for it is that it's quite humid and it's a subtropical climate. Now here we are, Tallahassee. Now let's take our little flight. Maybe we're flying Delta, maybe we're flying American Airlines. Your decision. I know flights are expensive these days and hard to get. Now we're in El Paso. You see, it's so much more drier even just on the aerial view. Check out that big ball of butter in the back. Sunny is what El Paso is. El Paso, Texas, you're seeing similar to Tallahassee, but really varying during the year. So we range there into the 90s in the summer when it gets really hot, so please stay hydrated, and into your 30s in the winter. Average of rain is much, much lower, and the snow is something that we see, 3.4 inches on average each year. Best described as an arid, semi-arid climate. It has some high winds and blowing dust, in which that is very key right now as you are under a red flag warning, so critical fire weather is currently occurring in the El Paso region. Current temperatures, we're looking, you know, Tallahassee, we're in Florida, you'd think it'd be quite warm, but we have that front coming in, so we're actually quite a little bit cooler than El Paso, which is quite shocking. But yes, very, very dry. Always leads to potential for fire weather, so please always be careful. Try not to light any matches or bonfires or anything of the sort. You see that chapstick weather. You see that dry, dry weather, and no rain currently. We're seeing some clouds. Might see a shower pop up east of Alamogordo, but really, really just dry conditions. You'll see Friday, tomorrow, you'll be windy, but really hot on Sunday as we see a high of 93. But the NFL draft, Ariana, is there something you're looking out for specifically?
Hopefully FSU players get drafted. I mean, none right now are projected to go in the first round, and I don't think that's going to change much, but maybe next year it might. So keep our fingers crossed for that. But as for Kansas City right now, temperatures are in the 60s, nice and cool out there. Great day to be in Kansas City, but not a great day to be a Giants fan. Of course, yes. But current dew points, we can see dew points across Kansas City, Missouri, and Kansas in the 40s. Very dry out there after a cold front has pushed through the area and left some drier air behind it. But for the current radar, like I was saying, no rain in the sight of Kansas City, so that is some good news for folks out there supporting their teams and not the Giants. Yeah, but here in Tallahassee, it is a little bit rainy, so nice little contrast. I know I'm excited for the draft, and I'm going to be even more excited to see those sunny skies in Kansas City. As for our future radar, we're going to see some rain skirt through Kansas, but overall, we may see a pop-up shower or two here as we head into Friday evening around Kansas City, but maybe just grab a raincoat as we head out the door Friday evening in case you have any plans out there. But for the NFL draft forecast tonight, first round is tonight. I'm very excited. Hopefully Knowles are picked, but not looking like it. Like I said earlier, great conditions, absolutely beautiful for the draft. And you know, there's just one more graphic here, and it's the Giants fans. And you know, I'm so sorry that you guys are gonna have to see that because they're going to make a pick, and it's still not going to help their chances winning a Super Bowl anytime soon. Go Jets! Our shout out to team leader from Wednesday, Ian. So yeah, no, but we are going to hand it off to Ale, who is going to talk about the lifestyle for us.
Thank you so much, Ariana. You know, I really resonate with that hatred for the Giants, but you know what I love? How beautiful it is here in the Panhandle, but sadly today, folks, it's just not your day. It is quite rainy, quite ugly. It's really looking like that. You can kind of see the sunset over Panama City, but it's looking pretty, you know, nasty out there, folks. So if you are outside, maybe not the best thing. Maybe you should go inside. And if you're going out tonight in College Town, it is going to be 69 and 50% chance of rain for basically the whole evening. So folks, maybe it's just not your night to go out. Maybe you should stay inside, curl up with a book, probably your textbook because finals are coming up. But tomorrow, if you're planning on going into the yard of your home, it is going to be ugly, just like it was today. It's going to be 83, but you have that chance of thunderstorms that's just going to be really staying with us for most of the weekend and just kind of ruining those vibes. I know we are excited for summertime, we're excited for this warming temperatures, but even for the beach, showers likely. It's going to be mid-70s. You have that strong wind, and you have that high rip risk. So I wouldn't even advise going into the water, folks, because it's going to be dangerous conditions out there. I wouldn't want to be struck by lightning or get sucked into the Gulf of Mexico. But if you're interested in watching baseball or softball, FSU versus Notre Dame is playing a 3-game series in South Bend, Indiana, but it's also looking ugly there. It's going to be raining and cold, folks. So maybe stay in Florida and watch that on your TV instead of, you know, going out. But you know what's going to be absolutely gorgeous? Graduation day, folks. Congratulations to all of our seniors who are graduating at FSU. I know we have a lot of seniors with our FSU team here at FSU Weather. It's going to be 84 with a nice breeze, and it's just going to be so gorgeous, folks. Like, I am just looking forward to that graduation for all our lovely seniors. But for the weekend, folks, is really not going to be the best. It's going to be stormy. We're expecting 4 to 6 inches of rain from today till Monday. So stay inside, folks. Stay weather aware. And you know what, Nico? Why don't we bring it back to the local?
Yes, thank you, Ale. We've got a lot busy weather right now around the area. If you're at Tallahassee, at FSU, we're not dealing with anything in the way of severe weather actually on campus, but you can see it's gray, it's rainy. You don't want to be out and about in this kind of weather. Obviously, we have thunderstorms. Our winds are pretty gusty, but we don't have anything severe right in Tallahassee. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning, but The worst of this weather is up to the north near Havana. So if you know anyone up there, you do not want to travel out to the north. You can see your temperatures around the area though, where you can see where the storm front has hit already. 70 in Tallahassee, back out in Quincy where they just had a tornado, it was 66 degrees now, and Perry, who hasn't had much of rain yet today, closer to 74. And here's where you do have that tornado warning north of Tallahassee until 7. It has been observed, and it was observed near Quincy earlier too, so you do not want to travel north out of Tallahassee right now. If you need to travel north of I-10, wait until after this expires at 7 o'clock. It looks like the weather is going to clear out pretty quickly when this line does finally push through. But you can look at the futurecast and look into tomorrow. It gets pretty warm, and depending on how much rain we have in the morning, there's a chance that we could have another round of storms Friday afternoon and evening. Saturday we have a much bigger round of storms though, so we could have potentially severe weather with that as well. All the way through the weekend, 4 to 6 inches of rain possible, severe weather threats the next few days, but if you have to go around campus for finals, it's going to be nice. But now I'm going to pass things off to Evan.
Yeah, thanks, Nico. And unfortunately, this is my last time producing the Thursday show of FSU Weather for this school year. It's been a tremendous privilege to be able to do this all school year this year. I've had some great experiences with everybody that's come out to the show. So thank you everybody that's come out this year to help support the show. It's really been a tremendous job. And I actually get the privilege now to pass that on to next year's FSU Weather team leader for Thursday, Miss Alejandra Garcia. There we go. Pass it off that clipboard. She is going to be taking over for me. I know she's going to be a tremendous asset to the FSU Weather team leader crew. So I couldn't have asked for a better successor for Thursday. So you're going to be awesome.
Thank you so much, Evan. I am a big fan of Thursday shows. I try to come whenever I can, and it is just such an honor to be picked to lead the Thursday show. I'm honestly filling some pretty big shoes. Evan is great, and I'm just feeling so confident about the amazing team we have for FSU Weather, the amazing team leaders we have for you folks next year, and just the great shows that we're going to continue to put on, and we're going to continue to love giving you guys the latest and greatest here at FSU Weather.
Yeah, and I know actually a little sneak peek of what Ale has planned for you guys. Some of her forecasts could be flying high. Wink, wink.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I know, that
okay.
that was bad, but I know. You'll
it's
see
the
next
secret,
year,
folks,
I
but you
promise.
guys will have to tune in to next year's Thursday edition of FSU Weather to find out exactly what Evan is talking about. I'm hoping you're going to be tuning in.
Oh, I'll be tuning in.
Oh,
I'll be tuning in from El Paso, I promise.
great.
I'll be
Okay.
off of work by then. It'll be okay. Yeah, we'll be good. But in the meantime, you guys can make sure you follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/FSU Weather.
And if Twitter's not your vibe, you can also like us on Facebook at facebook.com/FSU Weather.
And you can also watch us live every weekday on YouTube at youtube.com/FSU Weather, 6 p.m. Eastern.
Or you can follow us on Instagram at FSU Weather, and you can send us cute pictures of your animals and cool pictures of weather that you see.
That's right. So for the final time, I'm student meteorologist Evan O'Regan.
And I'm student meteorologist Alejandra Garcia.
All right, and we're going to let Josh Millay here close us out with one last look at your 7-day forecast.
I'm just so happy for Ale, as she'll be an amazing Thursday night producer, and our future will be bright with her. Unfortunately, our weather will not be, as we will be still expecting those storms to come through, but the sunshine will clear out for finals and for our first days of summer. This is Josh Millay, signing off.